Hey NFL fans, before we dive into today's hottest stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update from NFL News Now. The Kansas City Chiefs might be about to rediscover their offensive rhythm, and it could all come down to one player who's been out of the spotlight for far too long. Wide receiver Rashee Rice finally cleared to return after both a suspension and a devastating knee injury that ended his 2024 campaign in Week 4. Is set to rejoin the lineup in Week 7 when the Chiefs take on the Las Vegas Raiders. For fans, that means a return of one of Patrick Mahomes' most dynamic weapons, a player whose combination of physicality, quickness, and after-the-catch explosiveness once made Kansas City's short passing game feel unstoppable. But according to one Chiefs coach, Rice's return isn't just about another set of hands catching footballs. It's about changing the very rhythm of how this offense moves the chains and controls games. When the Chiefs' passing game coordinator Joe Blameyer spoke to reporters this week, he revealed a subtle but fascinating dimension of Rice's potential impact: his ability to reduce the number of third downs the team faces. That might not sound glamorous, but in the high-stakes world of NFL offensive efficiency, it's pure gold. I think the value of it is, in a way, eliminating some third downs, Blameyer explained. When you have the yards after the catch, we're always trying to get explosive plays that move the chains. Sometimes the easiest or highest percentage throw is shorter, but if you can take that high percentage completion and turn it into a yards after catch gain that moves the chains, you're just prolonging the drive, raising the likelihood that you're scoring points, and staying out of those third downs where the potential is coming off the field. It's the kind of football logic that sounds simple on paper, but few players in the league are truly capable of transforming modest completions into drive-sustaining first downs the way Rice can. The numbers back it up. Across his 2 seasons in the NFL, Rice has racked up 1,226 receiving yards on 103 receptions, a solid total on its own, but the real story lies in what happens after he gets the ball. A staggering 840 of those yards, nearly 70%, have come after the catch. That means Rice isn't just catching passes. He's manufacturing offense with his legs, turning safe throws into game-changing plays. During his rookie season, he had 44 first-down receptions, second only to the legendary Travis Kelce. Even in 2024, before his injury, Rice managed to collect 15 first-down catches through just 3 games and a few snaps in Week 4. That kind of production from a young receiver tells you everything about his chemistry with Mahomes and the way Andy Reid's system relies on him as a spark plug in the short and intermediate passing zones. For Kansas City, that ability could be the missing piece in an offense that has spent the early part of the 2025 season searching for consistency. The Chiefs have hovered around the middle of the pack in offensive efficiency metrics, averaging about 12.5 third downs per game through the first 6 weeks. They've converted 31 of their 75 third downs, a respectable 41.3%, but it's not quite the elite level that has defined the Mahomes era. The offense has flashed moments of brilliance, particularly in recent games against the Ravens, Jaguars, and Lions, where the passing rhythm looked smoother and the play action more convincing. Still, there's a sense that this offense hasn't fully ignited yet. Rice's return, paired with the growing chemistry between Mahomes, Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, and Juju Smith-Schuster, could be the final ingredient that brings the unit back to its vintage form. Think back to what made the Chiefs so terrifying at their peak. It wasn't just the deep bombs to Tyreek Hill or the tight window throws to Kelce. It was the relentless drive-sustaining rhythm, the ability to turn 2nd and 7 into 1st and 10 with a quick slant or a drag route. Defenses never got to rest because every play felt like it might break for another 15 yards. That's exactly the type of offensive flow Blameyer envisions Rice reigniting. With his YC ability, Kansas City can stay ahead of the sticks, keep play calling versatile, and avoid those dreaded third-and-long situations that bog down even the best offenses. When Mahomes doesn't have to constantly bail out the offense on third down, the entire playbook opens up, and the Chiefs can dictate tempo rather than react to it. Another crucial element to Rice's return is how it reshapes defensive coverage. Over the last few weeks, opposing defenses have been able to tighten their zones against Kansas City, especially on early downs. Without Rice's catch-and-run threat, linebackers and safeties could play tighter to the line, daring Mahomes to throw deep to receivers still finding their rhythm. Hollywood Brown and Worthy have both flashed their speed, but neither possesses Rice's combination of power and agility in tight spaces. When Rice is on the field, defenses have to account for his ability to take a simple 5-yard completion and turn it into a 25-yard gain. That forces safeties to play more cautiously, stretching the field horizontally and vertically. The ripple effect benefits everyone. Kelce gets more space underneath, Brown has cleaner looks downfield, and Mahomes can stay patient without feeling the need to force explosive plays. Beyond the tactical impact, there's also a psychological lift to getting Rice back. Teammates have spoken about his energy in practice this week, the confidence, the swagger, the way he demands the ball even after months of rehab and suspension. Players like that change the atmosphere in a locker room. The Chiefs' offense has been operating under immense scrutiny all season, with critics questioning whether Mahomes still has the weapons to dominate the way he once did. Bringing back a player who not only fits seamlessly into the scheme, but also radiates competitive fire could re-energize the unit heading into a critical divisional matchup. The Raiders might not be an elite opponent, but divisional games are always unpredictable, and Kansas City can't afford another sluggish offensive outing. Rice's return also comes at a time when the Chiefs' offensive identity seems to be evolving. Over the last few weeks, Reid has leaned more on pre-snap motion, quicker reads, and high-percentage throws, a shift that aligns perfectly with Rice's skill set. In his rookie year, he became Mahomes' go-to option on short crossing routes and RPO concepts, where his ability to break tackles after the catch turns safe plays into explosive ones. Having that back in the arsenal means Reid can once again blur the line between conservative and aggressive play calling. Every short throw to Rice carries the potential to become a game-changing moment, keeping defenses honest and constantly guessing. Of course, there will be questions about how quickly Rice can return to form. Coming off a knee injury and time away from the field is no small hurdle, even for a young, athletic receiver. But reports from practice suggest he's looked explosive, confident, and eager to make an immediate impact. Coaches and teammates alike have praised his conditioning and focus, emphasizing that he's been locked in throughout his rehab. That's the kind of preparation that gives coaches confidence to reintegrate him without hesitation. Don't expect him to play every snap in Week 7, but even in a limited role, his presence could shift the way the offense flows from the very first drive. What's truly fascinating about Blameur's comment is how it reframes the idea of offensive efficiency. Most teams think about success in terms of converting third downs, but the Chiefs, at their best, don't want to see third down at all. They're at their deadliest when first and second down become launching pads for continuous motion. The chain never stops moving, the defense never gets to regroup, and Mahomes remains in rhythm. Rice's YC ability isn't just about adding yardage. It's about altering the game's tempo and the psychological warfare that comes with it. Every time he breaks a tackle or slips through a defender's grasp, it's a reminder that no lead is safe against Kansas City. There's a poetic symmetry to Rice returning at this stage of the season. Week 7 marks the point when playoff contenders start separating from the pack. For the Chiefs, it's not just about winning games. It's about reestablishing their identity as the NFL's most creative, relentless offense. The past few weeks have shown flashes of that old magic, but with Rice back, there's a belief that the pieces are finally falling into place. He's more than just another receiver in the rotation. He's the connective tissue that can make the short game dangerous again, the spark that turns safe plays into highlight reels, and the reason Mahomes can go back to playing free, instinctive football. So when the Chiefs take the field against the Raiders, all eyes will naturally be on Mahomes and Kelce. That's the way it's always been. But those who know the subtleties of the game will be watching something else entirely. How Rashee Rice changes the rhythm, the spacing, and the heartbeat of this offense. Every slant, every drag, every broken tackle will tell the story of a player who's not just returning from injury, but reclaiming his role as one of the most important X factors in Kansas City's pursuit of another championship. And if Joe Blameur's vision proves right, the next phase of the Chiefs' evolution might not come from a new trick play or deep bomb. It might come from the steady, relentless march of a receiver who refuses to go down after the catch, one first down at a time. Keep watching as we analyze more details about some rumors. The NFL world is buzzing today, and not in a good way. Kansas City Chiefs fans woke up to what can only be described as the darkest, most heartbreaking news in the franchise's storied history. Rumors have been circulating for weeks, whispers in locker rooms, hints dropped in interviews, and now, it seems, the unthinkable is about to become reality. Travis Kelce, the cornerstone of the Chiefs' offense, the man whose presence on the field has been nothing short of electric for over a decade, is reportedly preparing to leave the team at the end of the 2025 season. The news has sent shockwaves across the NFL, leaving fans stunned, analysts scrambling, and social media in absolute chaos. Every Chiefs supporter who's cheered for Kelce since he first arrived in Kansas City is grappling with the idea that one of the greatest tight ends in NFL history might be leaving the Arrowhead Stadium turf behind for the last time. For those who followed Kelce's career, this isn't just another roster change. This is seismic. Travis Kelce has been more than just a player for the Chiefs. He's been a symbol, a leader, the heartbeat of the offense, and a player who's redefined what it means to be a tight end in modern football. Year after year, he's made highlight reels, dazzled fans with improbable catches, and delivered in clutch moments that have defined the Chiefs' success in the Patrick Mahomes era. From Super Bowl runs to unforgettable Monday night showdowns, Kelce has consistently elevated the game, setting a standard so high that younger players and fans alike often use his name as a benchmark for greatness. The thought of him in another uniform is almost surreal, an idea that seems to contradict the very DNA of the Chiefs' dominance over the past decade. Inside sources suggest that the decision hasn't been taken lightly. There's talk of contract negotiations, of differing visions for the team's future, and whispers of Kelce seeking a new challenge or a change of scenery after years of personal and professional highs in Kansas City. While the specifics remain shrouded in secrecy, insiders claim that both sides have been in discussions for months, and that Kelce's impending departure is more of a slow burn than a sudden shock. Some speculate that the Chiefs' front office is preparing contingency plans, scouting tight ends who could one day fill Kelce's massive shoes. Though many admit that no player could ever truly replicate what he brings to the field or to the locker room. The Chiefs have built a dynasty around Mahomes' brilliance and Kelce's reliability, and losing Kelce could mark the beginning of a challenging new era, one in which the team might struggle to maintain its elite status. The reaction from the fan base has been immediate and emotional. Social media feeds are flooded with tributes, memories of iconic plays, and messages of gratitude to a player who has given everything to his team. Hashtags expressing disbelief and heartbreak are trending, and fan forums are alive with speculation about where Kelce might go next. Will he remain in the AFC, perhaps joining another contender? Could he pursue an opportunity in the NFC, challenging himself in a new division? Or is there a chance that this isn't about football at all, that Kelce is simply looking to explore life beyond the gridiron, to step away on his own terms before the body and mind reach their breaking point? Every scenario has analysts debating and fans imagining, and for the first time in a long while, Kansas City is grappling with uncertainty in a way it hasn't had to in the Patrick Mahomes era. The ripple effects are expected to hit not just Kansas City, but the NFL landscape as a whole. Trades, free agency moves, and draft strategies could all pivot dramatically depending on where Kelce ends up. Teams that have long coveted a player of his caliber are surely circling, calculating cap space, and planning pitches that could tempt him. Meanwhile, the Chiefs must weigh loyalty against the practical realities of the salary cap, team dynamics, and their long-term championship aspirations. Every decision now is magnified, every rumor dissected by pundits, and every practice session scrutinized for signs of what might be next. Even the casual NFL observer senses that a major chapter in football history is about to close, and the aftermath will shape the league for years to come. The human element of this story cannot be overstated. Kelce isn't just leaving a team. He's leaving a city that has embraced him wholeheartedly. Kansas City has cheered for him, celebrated his milestones, and elevated him to celebrity status beyond the field. The players around him, from Mahomes to the youngest rookie, are suddenly faced with the reality that the locker room dynamic will change, that mentorship and camaraderie built over countless seasons are at risk of being disrupted. Coaches and staff are rumored to be preparing statements and support messages, but behind closed doors, there is genuine concern about how to maintain morale and focus as the inevitable end of Kelsey's tenure approaches. There's also a historical perspective to consider. Few tight ends in NFL history have commanded the same respect, attention, and adoration as Kelsey. Comparisons to legends like Tony Gonzalez or Rob Gronkowski are inevitable, but what makes Kelsey unique is the combination of longevity, consistency, and the ability to impact games in the biggest moments. His departure from the Chiefs would mark the end of an era, not just a roster change. It's the closing of a chapter that has been filled with unforgettable catches, jaw-dropping athleticism, and a legacy that will be studied and celebrated for generations. Fans will remember the touchdowns, the sideline celebrations, and the sheer joy that Kelsey brought to Arrowhead Stadium. But the lingering question will be, what could have been if he had stayed even longer, cementing a dynasty that might have seemed untouchable? Speculation is now reaching fever pitch. Some say that Kelsey's departure could even signal a shift in Patrick Mahomes' career, forcing him to adapt to a new offensive structure, different targets, and a revised strategy. Others suggest that the Chiefs' front office is quietly preparing to strike big in the 2026 draft, seeking to pair Mahomes with the next generational talent, though no prospect could truly replace Kelsey's combination of skill, intelligence, and leadership. Rumors swirl about potential trade partners, about big money offers from teams desperate to acquire a player who can change the trajectory of a season in a single game. Analysts debate the likelihood of Kelsey chasing a Super Bowl ring elsewhere versus loyalty to a team that has given him everything. Meanwhile, fans brace for a summer of tension, knowing that the season's end may bring an announcement that will alter the league's landscape forever. As the 2025 season unfolds, every snap, every reception, and every touchdown by Kelsey is being watched with renewed intensity. The shadow of his impending departure hangs over Arrowhead Stadium like a storm cloud, adding drama to every game, every locker room speech, and every post-game interview. Players and coaches alike are rumored to be savoring every moment with Kelsey on the roster, fully aware that history is being written, that the end of an era is approaching. Even casual viewers can feel the tension, the sense of anticipation mixed with melancholy, as the Chiefs navigate what may be the most emotionally charged season in their history. In the end, whatever the outcome, Travis Kelce's legacy is secure. Whether he departs Kansas City to chase new challenges or to carve out a final chapter in his career elsewhere, his impact on the team and the NFL as a whole is undeniable. The Chiefs' dynasty will be remembered for many things: Patrick Mahomes' brilliance, the innovative schemes, and the sheer dominance on the field. But Kelsey's presence, his catches, and his leadership will forever be etched into the fabric of Kansas City football history. The only question now is how fans, players, and the league will cope with his absence, and how the NFL will continue to tell the story of a player whose influence cannot be measured merely in touchdowns or statistics, but in the excitement, joy, and unforgettable moments he has provided over more than a decade of greatness. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your fellow NFL fans. Stay tuned for more updates, only here on NFL News Now.